When we want to change the value of a user-defined field for one of our entries, we can click on User-Defined Fields. We can search down until we find the particular field we're interested in, or we can enter here the name of the field and have Maximizer search it for us, or we can use our Details window and use what are called key field lists, which actually are a faster, more elegant, and simpler way of finding the user-defined field of interest and making the necessary change. For example, for Amelia Liquor South, we have a key field list that includes industry. I can double-click my left mouse button, I can come over here to industry, and I can select retail sales and make that change and save it for this particular entry. In this video, I'm going to show you also how you can change the elements or the user-defined fields that you're tracking in this key field list, and I'm also going to show you how to create a brand new key field list to perhaps better suit your purposes. We begin that process by clicking on this gear and selecting Customize Key Fields. Maximizer opens up the key field list that we are currently working on the assumption that we may indeed want to make a change there. For example, let's suppose that I'm no longer interested in having this particular user-defined field in this key field list. I highlight it, I press delete, and it's no longer there. I also decide that I want to kind of separate some things here, so I'm going to click Add Separator, and I'll move this up perhaps to here, and then I'll click Save. When I do that and then click Close, I come back to where I was, and you can see the changes have already been put in place. It is just as easy to create a new key field list, and I'll begin the same way. I click on this gear, Customize Key Fields. This time, however, I click Cancel so that I can come over here to the area where all of my key field lists are stored, and I can click Add to generate a brand new one. Let's assume that my customers are frequently coming to me for credit as they expand their operations, and I've put in a process that allows me to assess whether or not I want to grant credit to any given customer. So I can create a key field list called Credit Assessment. The next step I do is move over to Key Fields. Once I am here, I have to make an absolutely critical decision. I have to decide what kind of entry this key field list will exist for. Let's assume that I'm going to go for company. I add fields to the list by clicking Add Field. This takes me over to where I have already my credit assessment user-defined fields, and I click on each of them in turn and just press Insert as quickly as I can move my mouse button around, and Maximizer proceeds to add them into my list for me. Now you'll notice, by the way, if I accidentally press one and insert that has already been done, Maximizer advises me it's already there. I click Close. At this point I have all of my fields. I could click Save and be happy. But what I'm going to do is move some of these over to this side because I kind of want to have it looking a little bit differently. On this side here, I'm going to add a group title that just says Basic Info, and I'm going to put that to the top of that list, and I'll wrap that side up with a separator. This side over here, I'm going to say Date Credit Application Sent, date it was returned, days since, and grant credit. And I'll just add another group title here, and I'll call this Credit Info. And I'll even spell credit correctly and move that to the top, and again wrap this up with a separator at the bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and click Save, and I'll click Close, and I'm looking at a company, Add Details, and guess what? I can press my drop down arrow here, and there is my credit assessment. It's brilliant. Now I want to show you one other thing before we move on. I can go back now to Customize Key Fields. I get back to where I was in company. Let's select something else. Let's suppose I want this same structure, but now I want it for contacts. So I click on Contact, and it looks as if all of my fields are gone. They're not really. If I go back to company, there's the structure that I set in place. If I click on Contact, I now have to go through the same process. And that's all right, it just takes an extra couple of minutes. I can click on the same buttons again, and I'll just do this, a few of them, to show you what I'm talking about. I won't take it all the way through, and I'll click Close. So I'll click Save now, and Close, and now I'm going to come down to one of my contacts here, and lo and behold, I have got credit assessment and I've got fields there as well. Now obviously I would have to click here and customize this key field list to complete it, but my point is this. When I do it like this, where I actually have one key field list that is going to contain the same fields for a company or for a contact or for an individual, when I get around to doing that and I click Save, I have a better situation than if I create that credit assessment list for companies, a separate one for company leads, a separate one for contacts, separate one, and so on and so forth. It's more efficient to have one that I can simply call credit assessment and apply it to each of my entries as I need to. This is a lot like having a filing drawer in my filing cabinet that is called credit assessment, and then having sections in that drawer dedicated to contacts, individuals, companies, and so on. So there you go. Another powerful tool designed to save you time and keep all the most important information about your clients within easy reach right in front of you. Bye for now.